Midterm elections are 3 weeks away, and the brutal competition to flip or maintain seats has never been more hostile. And now the top issue is
Christian nationalism.
Christian nationalism.
We should be Christian nationalists.
And of course, we have people sounding off on how great having Christian nationalists in power would be, because why wouldn't Christians want Christian representation and bringing about morality, or as my mom put it, keeping evil at bay? So I did the research, read the books, followed the experts to give you the most basic understanding I can of Christian nationalism. What is Christian nationalism? It's this mixture of a deep story and a very specific vision of what America should be. A deep story is a myth, but is commonly believed to be true. The Lost Cause myth is a great example. After the Confederates lost the Civil War, they created this false history that the South was a virtuous patriot group of tight-knit Christian communities. They just wanted to preserve their idyllic way of life when the godless North came in to destroy everything about their society. So the people rallied together, not because they wanted a war or to enslave people, but to protect themselves from these outsiders. This didn't happen. This is not how the Civil War actually played out. It's just a story that's collectively believed as a pseudo-history to explain and interpret the loss. So what about Christian nationalism? America was founded as a Christian nation by white men who were traditional Christians who based the nation's founding documents on Christian principles. The U.S. is blessed by God, which is why it's been so successful, and the nation has a special role to play in God's plan for humanity. But these blessings are threatened by cultural degradation from un-American influences both inside and outside the borders. The U.S. is becoming more diverse and secular, less white and Christian. This is a threat to maintaining this vision and creates an us versus them mentality. They are the enemy, and we must stand and fight against it, or America will be lost. And the best way to fight it? Order, freedom, and violence. Order maintains hierarchy and, well, order. It defines who is the outsider and who is a true American, which would be white Christian citizens. Freedom is what is afforded to white Christian citizens. Their God-given rights, the right to life, liberty, and property, or the pursuit of happiness. These are sacred rights and freedoms and are never to be violated, especially by the outsider, which leads to the justification for violence. It's the connection between order and freedom and highly depends on what group is being violent. For white Christian nationalists, it's the most fundamental expression of freedom. The insurrection was a way for white Christian nationalists to restore and maintain order. Sometimes this level of violence is necessary and is justified through order and freedom. But if the violence is from the outsider, say a Black Lives Matter protest, it's the ultimate example of disorder, moral collapse, and chaos. They are a threat to freedom and must be destroyed at all costs. Now, Christians can identify as Christian nationalists, but this doesn't mean all Christians, or evangelicals, which tend to lead more into Christian nationalism, identify as such. But non-Christians can identify as Christian nationalists if they believe in the deep story and vision of a Christian heritage, values, and way of life. It's the identity of ultra-conservative ideologies, beliefs, and ideas that unite the group in the us versus them fight. And it's white Christian nationalism because it's assumed as white. If you say Christian, the first idea that comes to mind is white, not a minority group. They're also the main demographic that will lean into the Christian nationalist myth because surveys and data. Now, what is Christian about white Christian nationalism? Nothing. It's the belief that a certain vision of America is threatened and must be protected at all costs. This isn't about Jesus or religion, but of maintaining power and control.